What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Before we dive in, today's video is sponsored by our friends over at MySlabs.com. If you are not using them, you absolutely should be. The best thing about MySlabs, my personal favorite thing, is I have the cards in my hand. It's not located in a vault. That means I have the freedom to list multiple places. And MySlabs even encourages you to list multiple places. I can put the card up on eBay. I can put the card up at MySlabs. Because of the fee structure differences, I could give a little bit of a discount on the MySlabs listing, which hopefully would make it sell a little bit faster, a little bit easier. The other thing that I really enjoy, they crack down on non-payers and non-sellers. If you get a good deal on a card and the seller does not sell it, ship it, gone. If someone doesn't pay within the 24-hour period, gone. Fantastic. Zero tolerance practically. And it's just a great system that they have set up over there. So quick word from them, and then we will go ahead and dive into today's video.
The platform designed by collectors for collectors just got even better. MySlabs.com is proud to now feature dedicated sections for both raw cards and raw comic books. Browse over 100,000 slab collectibles, authenticated by the industry's most trusted grading companies. Then check out a massive selection of sealed wax and now raw singles and raw lots. Join a passionate, no-nonsense community of nearly 50,000 members and enjoy some of the best buyer and seller protection in the business. And as always, MySlabs offers one of the most disruptive pricing models in the hobby, with seller fees as low as only 1%. So the next time you're forced to pay 10%, 20%, or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com, the low-fee marketplace by collectors for collectors.
Well, we have the new most expensive card ever. The SGC 9.5 sold this weekend for $12.6 million. Whew, boy, that's a big number. This is going to be tossed around, talked about, discussed. This will be the content du jour for the early part of the week, and justifiably so. Amazing sale, amazing card. I took a glance at this at the National. And I guess the word on the street, I saw Dustin talk about this in his video, and I've heard this from other people that kind of play in this world as well, that this particular SGC 9.5 has outstanding eye appeal, looks great, may even be a better looking card than the PSA 10s that are out there. Now, I'm no vintage expert. I don't know that I've ever seen all four cards individually in the same photo, whatever, to get like a good comparison on it. So who knows? But card like this, it's obvious. Buy the card, not the grade. Whenever you're talking vintage, that stuff matters more. We all know by this point, the further you go back in time and the more vintage era that you get, the less the slab matters. A lot of SGC stuff sells very close to what PSA does. And in some cases, it inverses if the card is that much better looking. So I'm not surprised that an SGC 10 pulled this much. Now, what would be interesting is if a PSA 10 came to market based off this sale. And what would it do? Would it, if it was slightly worse looking, would it sell for the same? Would it sell for less? Or would it go for way more? Clearly, there's at least two people that wanted this card for close to this price because it bid up this high. And it will be intriguing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big, Mantle rookie cards are not my wheelhouse. I'm not an expert in this field at all. And I don't know who owns the other three. I'm sure people in the comments will let me know. But I wonder if one shakes loose. If someone that owns one of these sees that a 9.5 just did 12.6 and they're saying, well, shoot, I have a PSA 10. What would that do? Even if it did 12.6, but I would love to see a PSA 10 hit the auction block and see how it did compared to this one. I think that would be absolutely fascinating to see if it would go for more or not. Now, does this have down trickle effects? Does this trickle down to us commoners that are buying Lucas Silvers and whatever? I don't think so. I mean, I actually, I know so. I don't think it'll have any. I shouldn't say I know because I don't really know for sure. But generally speaking, I don't think that this has any major downward trend to like lift the whole card market. You know what I mean? This sold for 12.6 million. All of a sudden, all my random ultra modern NBA slabs just doubled in value because of this sale. No, not at all. Is it good? Yeah, sure. News is news and eyeballs are eyeballs, and this will definitely draw eyeballs. Does it help the high-end market? I don't know. Does it help the vintage market? Probably. If you have anything Mantle related, and we kind of saw it at the National, that a lot of people were hunting Mantle adjacent cards in anticipation of this sale. They were looking at the Bowman, they were looking at second year and another version, other years of cards of Mantle, other iconic cards. Will they get a lift from this? That I could see. Maybe not huge. If nothing else, they're probably, I bet you Mantle's always super liquid, so it's not like it's tough to move a Mantle card. But I bet you if you're a vintage dealer, you could probably move Mantle for what your asking price is a little bit easier today than you could 2 weeks ago. Really, since this card hit the block, Mantle stuff's been pretty hot, at least talked about. So does this lift other vintage stuff? Possibly. Does it create some buzz about other big iconic cards? Maybe. It's just kind of weird because this is the most iconic card in sports, along with the T206. I put this ahead of that, but that's just me. I at least, not that I saw Mantle play, but I never, my dad never told me stories of Honus Wagner when I was growing up. So I have zero connection with that card compared to the Mantle. You watch movies as a kid, and there's either Mickey Mantle's in it, or there's just you're just more aware of Mantle and his impact on the game than you are some of the T206 cards. The high-end market, generally speaking, has been a little rough lately. And when I say high-end, obviously I'm not talking 12.6 million. I'm talking like a couple $100,000 cards. That stuff has been getting beat up a little bit as more and more of it has been coming to market. Are there enough buyers to play at that level? How much of this stuff is actually truly rare? A Jordan PSA 10 sells for a lot of money, but it's actually not that rare. You could find, if you want one, you could find one. It's not like something like this where there's 4 cards in existence at this grade. That's a whole different bag of kittens. So you're seeing things like the Jordan that are high valued but not super rare kind of get dinged a little bit lately. The mid-tier market, or mid to low tier, I guess. And when I say low tier, I'm putting that in perspective with everything else. And once again, this is probably worth a completely own separate video. Kind of feels like we've stabilized a little bit. Maybe I'll do something a little bit more on that later this week. But the range that a lot of us play in, $100 to $1,000, that stuff feels pretty okay right now. We'll see what happens once football season starts. How the kids do, how the quarterback class does. Stuff will probably start to get swingy once we get in season. But at least at the moment, it does feel like things have stopped going down. I mean, don't get me wrong, things are still going down, but it's not like we're in full market correction territory, at least for the time being. Could that change again? Yeah. A lot of the economy doom and gloom stuff has kind of filtered through the noise machine, and it feels like we're on the other side of that, at least for now. That could change, obviously, in a second. But you're not seeing like, oh my God, inflation this, inflation that. Is it up? Yeah, absolutely. Is everything still more expensive? Yes. But we've kind of seemed to have taken a pause, at least, on a lot of that stuff for the time being. Once again, we'll see if it holds. I don't know. But interesting times ahead. Interesting sale. Fantastic card. Like I said, I don't think it has major ripple effects on the downward market as a whole. I think the Mantle market and maybe other vintage baseball gets a little juice, but nothing crazy. Like I said, it probably just makes things a little bit more liquid, and maybe you get a little bit more closer to your asking price than in the past. Especially, a lot of people will point to this sale for sure, trying to justify it. And we'll see what's next. Like I said, I would love to see a PSA 10 come to market. Love to see it, just to see what it would sell for. That would be absolutely amazing to kind of see how that fell out. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.